Healthy Moments. This is a show where I try not to melt in the 113-degree heat of the great Arizona desert. This week, as we kick off the monsoon season, I've been spending a lot of time catching up on my personal reading, and I found this amazing book called The Calcium Lie. In The Calcium Lie, Dr. Thompson talks about how we have all been brainwashed to eat more calcium and want to buy calcium-enriched foods. Over the past few years, you would have noticed that the dairy industry has changed its milk campaign to Got Milk, intended to target people who remember their older commercials where milk does the body good, etc., etc. I generally don't recommend books because most of the books I end up reading tend to be crap. But there's something particular about this book that caught my attention. The most important point in this book is the fact that our bones are made of 12 minerals, and we stopped getting these materials once the refrigerator was invented. We stopped using sea salt in order to preserve our foods. Therefore, we're not getting about 76 minerals we would normally get from that sea salt. If you're interested in the book, the link is in the description below, as well as some sea salt products that will help you replenish your mineral reserves. Now on to the news. First up in the news, the Red Cross needs your blood. It turns out that the summer season always holds a record for lowest blood donations, and that's because everybody's on vacation and the heat waves. I personally have never donated blood. I have a fear of needles, but I do encourage everybody who doesn't have a fear of needles to go ahead and donate over the summer. That's when it counts the most. If the hospitals don't get the blood they need, there's a lot of surgeries that get canceled if the family members can't produce the blood required for the surgery. The Red Cross states that all blood types are welcome, but they're in dire need of O positive, A negative, and B negative blood types. To learn more about blood types, link in the description below. Next up is a video where a nutritionist is talking about the Atkins diet, the pros and cons, and whether the benefits are really worth it. I personally have never been a diet person. I've mentioned in previous videos that I generally, these days, eat horribly, but at the same time, my goal isn't to lose weight right now. My methods for general population weight management comes down to one principle, and that is craving nutrition over craving flavor. And the best way for your mind to communicate with your body is exercise. When you increase your metabolism and you burn calories and you exercise regularly, your body will tell you what type of nutrition you need. Back to the Atkins diet. When you're removing carbs like starches and sugars, you're depriving your body of a main fuel source. So it's like going to the gas station and finding out that they upped the ethanol up to like 35%. You're not going to be happy. Your car's going to give you crappy gas mileage. And that's what's going to happen internally in your body. So go find something fun and active to do, and do it 2 to 3 times a week. The summer's here and the weather is very pleasant everywhere else but here in the great American desert. Next up, have you ever woken up in the OR with the surgeon fast asleep on your abdomen, scalpel in hand? Well, I haven't, neither has anybody else. But doctors do admit to nodding off in surgery, so I decided to take a minute and kind of visualize what it's like to be in the operating room. It's gonna be dead silent, with nothing but the humming of the machines and that rhythmic. You've been up for 20 hours or maybe you're 30 hours in your shift and you've done 15 hours of surgery already. Your eyelids are getting heavy and a quick nap would be a blessing right now. This is realistically what it's like to be in the operating room. The demands on surgeons by the hospitals and by the people are unreasonable. And the problem's only going to get worse because as the years go by, we have more information and more knowledge to pass on to doctors and surgeons. Here's the bigger problem. There's no way to streamline the process of making doctors. If you have any ideas on how to create quality doctors and surgeons in quantity, leave your comments in the description below. I'd like to hear from you. The last article in Branded News relates to the previous article and talks about the 14 worst mistakes that you can make at a hospital. I'm not going to talk about all 14 points, but there's a couple that really stood out. One was don't get surgeries on a Friday or on a weekend. When it's Friday for you, what are you thinking about when you're at work? Now imagine working 100 hours that week and also it being Friday. How do you think that's going to affect the quality of a doctor's services, knowing that they had worked for 100 hours that week and they're just ready to get out there, they're fatigued? Other insights include don't go to the hospital by yourself. Bring all your prescription bottles to make sure you don't mix up or mess up a dose. And make your choices of which hospital to stay at based on their infectious disease rates. That's it for this week. Please participate in some of the non-safe for work discussions going on my Facebook and Twitter. Don't be a stranger, subscribe. And as always, stay healthy, wealthy, witty, and wise. And I'll see you next time.